this out in the game like this when you don't know for sure if it works, right?
Oh, we'll see. Because if they lose, then we can maybe we can pick on that.
All right. Well, it is time. We're gonna me and T are gonna leave you, Kyle. You're gonna be joined by OG Pixel for this first best of one of the tiebreaker. Enjoy, guys. OG versus Liquid. It's a Huskar game. Fun times all around. Enjoy.
We certainly will, yeah. Looking forward to the games today. We're going to have a lot of fun best of ones, and what better way to start it, really. OG versus Liquid. Kyle, this Huskar comes into play.
I mean,
as you said, sure, we've not seen a lot, if any, of sort of the mid-Huskar for quite some time. Do you believe in it, or do you think this is definitely Liquid taking more of the risk out of these two drafts?
Honestly, I think the Shaker pick from OG was the biggest risk.
Okay. What, putting it in the offlane or just
I think I'm more confident in Huskar, any role, than I am offlane Shaker nowadays. It just feels like it's sort of lost its luster. I loved playing that way back in the day, but it's just so much weaker in the laning phase now, especially against pretty much any hero Liquid would put up against it. And it's just, honestly don't know. I'm just hyped because this is one of those games you really don't know who the hell's going to win until you see it play out.
Sure. And this Huskar, I think there's going to be a lot of potential for Huskar, because you got to remember as well, Kyle. You know, I know, I'm sure you know it already, but refresh yourself. Have a look at the Huskar Aghanim Shard and tell me that's not amazing against Io, Weaver, and Troll.
Oh my goodness. That is pretty good. And I know Liquid, like shout out to Jabs and Blitz and the rest of the squad. They're all huge nerds. So I am sure they're very aware of that and perhaps even see this shard as an IO counter because of it.
I mean, it's got me, what, 50% reduction, dude. That's, you know, you're not hitting that with many items. Well, you know, obviously best, but that's a big number on a spell that you're going to be able to throw out pretty nicely. I mean, it's already, what, 11-second cooldown. Did you get a cooldown?
Yep, 3 seconds.
Yeah. No, wait, no, that's on the life rate. It's and the shard is on the NFI, remember?
Yeah,
so that's the Q card.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, okay, we're good.
I must have misheard. It's all good. It's all good. Look, okay, mid. This is the matchup that I wasn't sure about. The Troll versus Huskar,
sure.
I think should be Huskar favored, but I'm not. I don't know. And he actually went for the Q first. There it is already. So I think that might give him a bit of an edge because it's such a low mana, high damage spell. Top lane's the one I'll probably check out just because I feel like this Void Spirit Oracle is going to have a field day with this Earthshaker.
See how much Seb can get out of this lane against Mickey and Insania. And down on the bottom, you know, No Tail supporting up mid one. I mean, into the Bloodseeker Earth Spirit lane, is this somewhere that, you know, mid one's going to farm all right, or Liquid going to be able to put any pressure on it?
I think it's a bit of a trade. You can already see Taiga just pulling creeps and messing with the mechanics, so it's not real Dota being played down here just yet. I think top, you're going to have more straight up brawling. You can already see Stab forced to salve.
Quite a see how well Saxa can face it.
Radiant's
to hold back Insania and eventually a lot of the burst. But when that burst is there, Mickey and Insania good shot of getting the jump on these. You've got to be careful. They've got to save their stuns defensively. In fact, a good angle to go in onto Mickey, but now Mickey's ready to turn. He puts down the Remnant. He's grabbed back Saxa. As Liquid, they'll be able to secure that first blood. And in this lane that you did anticipate is going to be a little difficult for OG.
For sure, and the thing is, you know, we saw Taiga in a couple of games under the Spirit straight up win all 3 lanes for Liquid. That's going to be where his eye is at, because Steb, with this build, he can be formidable in the laning phase, but he has to be in a position of strength to get those enchants off in melee range. If Taiga shows up, like, he just dies to the 3 stun lane.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
And that's the beauty of these pulls. Like, in theory, if you can get lane control for Boxy, as we see he's acquired, now he's going to go look at middle. There's another really active lane he could play around. Huskar does a ton of damage to a hero like Troll.
Radiant are scanning.
Taiga, the angle here, but it's going to be scanned out. Do you know exactly what's going on around mid? Let's just get Taiga out of this area. Topson's safe to keep farming as best as can against qojqva, and so far so good really in this lane. You know, obviously in the past Huskar picked and drawing here as the 1v1, but here in this matchup, Topson keeping the CS pretty much even against qojqva's Huskar.
Yep. It's so tense. I can feel it. Because obviously these teams are going to be favored to win out the tiebreaker. Tundra have the luxury of waiting and watching to see if their match upcoming against OG will be a must-win for them.
He's got this. I mean, he's got the backup of Notel. He's diving in onto qojqva. Region's going to be too much for him to fight through the level 2 berserkers, blood allowing qojqva to survive. Topson trying to get in yet again. He really wants to get in on top of qojqva with the melee hits if he can. If he can close this gap, he's going to have another slow in a few seconds. Notel keeps it. Careful. But now qojqva, he's just going to turn towards Notel. Notel's going to get pushed back. qojqva still alive. They just don't have the damage to kill the Huskar at the moment between the two of them. And they've got to be careful. Tiger by qojqva's side. Topson, he's got to get out of there.
He got Helm of Iron Will delivered as that second attempt went down, so there's just no way you're going to kill him anymore with all that regen. 15 HPS, it was even more under the tower, plus the armor boost, of course. Taiga uncharacteristically missing a couple rolls, but oh, now the offlane's here.
Yeah, they've got the backup. And with that, they're just going to be able to blow up Topson. A nice little move up from Boxley as he comes to join the forces and gets the kill. Top lane, they might just be able to press step up instead, trying to get Mickey instead. Simulate on the side, Mickey's away over the fissure. South going, Mickey be able to back away.
Seb going for the wrong dissimulate portal, but you know, can't blame him. Mickey not gonna play into his hands. And keep in mind, with all this brawling that's happening mid and top, the reason Boxy can connect for kills like that, he's got 2 points in Thirst. When 3 enemy heroes are all, you know, under 40% HP, he's suddenly moving in haste. And here's the TP we're talking about.
Tiger can set up onto Seb as they're going to have the hold here. Insania with the root to line things up. Tiger gets the kick, gets the slow up step. Got a few stick charges. Is it going to be enough to help him? It is. Seb will go down. Get the kill, and around these rune timings as well. They get the one for the river. Zap says. Try and block the camp. No. Look down.
So much fun. I'm gonna miss this when it's gone, Owen. Like, this is our last day of EU Dota.
Tiger still got the bounty ring.
Wait, what? Oh, he left it.
He left it. I guess he did. Yeah, Topson had a bottle. He was leaving it for Topson, but Tiger, he gets the window to go in and take the bounty rune for Liquid.
Nice.
So Liquid end up getting 3 of the 4 bounty runes there, with Saxa leaving that one for Topson, and of course this leaves Topson with an empty bottle. Get there in time.
Yep. That's the thing about playing against Huskar mid. You have to go for these more unconventional styles, because if you can't spam axes, you just can't lane. Like, look how aggressive qojqva is allowed to play. You can't really trade with him unless he's missing most of his hits. Also, of course, an orb attack, so you can do this without being annoyed by creep mechanics. One of the reasons Viper is such a formidable laner. Huskar has the same benefit.
Of course, further issues for Topson. Still, Topson against the pressure. He's matching the farm. Very good. Good job here compared to what a lot of other heroes would have to suffer with against a Huskar.
Notel TP tier 2 mid. He's ready for some kind of aggression to come out. They want to be careful with qojqva's GD. The one sacrifice, though, so far for Liquid is Boxy's game isn't going great. Mid 1, top 35 and 14, so he's doing just fine. And he's also doing a very greedy build, rushing Maelstrom. So Bloodseeker will have a better matchup going on to the game, but mid 1's going to get really big really fast. And we have not seen this Wisp Weaver combination lose. Keep that in mind. So a lot of emphasis now on mid 1 and his importance in this game.
Trying to have another go on to Seb. They've got the level 6 on Mickey. Jumps in with the Astral Step. Saxa is by Seb's side, though. We'll make sure that they can't dive in further for the kill now. Mid 1, he's ready for the counterplay. They know that Mickey used a lot of mana to jump in, but he's still got enough to jump out once more. Mid 1 won't get the kill, but he's going to be happy to himself and start farming on this top lane, where put some pressure onto Liquid.
I'm not so sure about that, Owen. I don't think mid 1 wants to be here.
Down bottom, or?
Yeah, I mean, consider his build. Again, like, he went straight Javelin, Maelstrom, no real stats. Like, this is a very squishy hero, and he's now rotated to a lane where there's no ability to put tower pressure out just yet. Yeah, Seb is going to go bottom and trade, but this is a level 7 Bloodseeker. I don't think you're going to be happy down here as Seb. He needs at least 6 to be really able to contest.
Well, yeah, we'll see, because, I mean, at the moment, 8 minutes in, 3-0. Quid with that slight lead. Showing them coming off the back of the landing stage a little. stronger.
Dire's
out of
middle
OG.
tower is under
Still
attack.
very early days, very close. OG yet to really go for their first play.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
And No-Tail, or rather, Insania did get the bottle fill on Mickey, so we've now transitioned into this 3-on-3 Seb bottom. You know, perhaps this is just what OG want. They just want to swap the lanes. Like, this does make sense when you consider that Taiga is now locked into his lane, and yeah, Liquid want no part in this. They're going to rotate right back. They want to go take out Seb and ensure that they can have a more
Radiant's
skirmish-centered
middle
game.
tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom
Back, you know what?
tower is under
Tower.
attack.
Again, each count
Yep.
Tiger and Mickey.
He placed that ward himself and TP'd down just above his tower. That
Dire's
saves
top
him there.
tower is
I think he
under
felt it as well, but got confirmation
Radiant's
from the
bottom
vision.
tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Bit of an attempt on Tiger, it's hard, but yeah, they've got a fish out. They've got Saxer here as well. Couple of stuns, they get a rune, they'll certainly have it, and they do. Straight away,
Radiant's
allowing
bottom
Steph to close in,
tower is
keep him
under
locked
attack.
down with the enchant totem.
qojqva has his armlet complete though, and he found arguably the best item for a Huskar this early on, the possessed mask. So taking him down is now incredibly difficult. Mickey's still farming, but I will feel I don't you feel like Liquid have the emphasis here? Like, they are the ones that need to take towers. They've got to be more aggressive, because I mean, we've
sure,
seen
they
this
got-
with
they got
Weaver
a
scale. Yeah,
Oh,
and
absolutely.
Weaver Troll, I mean, levels 20, 25 plus, like, this gets out of hand really fast.
No, for sure, yeah. If OG's able to keep this game in a pretty stable position, they're definitely going to be having the upper hand later on. And the Huskar's still going to be a nuisance in the late game because of these disarms and the reduction of health, healing and regeneration, but no, it's not necessarily going to win you the game.
Dire's
So I'm
middle
gonna look
tower is
25.
under attack.
Gotta keep the pressure high, they're going to be able to catch mid one. Great way to do it. Find the Weaver, they take him out. DD rune as well, spawning top. And with that armlet, there is also that opportunity for that Roche attempt if qojqva feels confident enough to go
Dire's
for it.
structures are fortified.
I'm not so sure. It's so risky is the thing. Like, OG's lineup can
Radiant's
play so
bottom
fast.
tower has fallen.
Sure, well, you don't think we're going to see Liquid try and rush,
Oh, unless, or you smoke into it. Oh.
And you know, here you go. You got a DD, dude. You got your armlet. It's nice and early. You've just
Oh my
built up
God,
the
this
Weaver.
is-
You go for the
so
road.
risky. I know, you know
Yeah,
what?
but it's one of those things. The payoff's going to be pretty huge if you can get an Aegis on your Huskar 10 minutes in.
No.
And I think they can do it easy. They've got targeted tanks, and this is going to be an easy road. They're going to have this one, no problem. And, you know, this is just such an important thing to pick up when you're trying to win the game in the fashion that Liquid did.
Because it's not even about, like, this first Roche, it's very nice, don't get me wrong. But it also accelerates the timing of the second and third Roche. And consider, Liquid should have an edge here for at least the next 15 minutes of this game. Now you have this edge, you'll get towers off it, but that second Roche could spawn pre-20 minutes. Like, that is absurd. Suddenly it's 30 minutes in, someone's getting a free Ags. Like, that is game-changing. Assuming you're able to maintain control of the game, of course.
Lane, and we'll manage to get the lockdown onto Mickey, dropping the slap. So they can take him out. Mid lane though, this dive, this aggression, you know, with the Aegis they're ready to do this, jumping in. Towers cannot be
Radiant
held, and
structures
Fox
are
is going to lose his life off the back of trying to stick around for this. It's now Liquid. They can
Radiant's
really
middle tower
force for these
is under
objectives. I
attack.
mean, if you're OG in this position, what's sort of the plan? You see the Huskar taking towers with the Aegis. You sort of just have to let
Radiant's
Liquid
middle tower
take
has
what they
fallen.
want, or what's the plan?
Check out bottom lane, you can see the plan. Seb's just
Dire's
got
top
the plan
tower has
acquired.
fallen.
Level 4 Aftershock, Blink Dagger acquired. No Echo, of course, but
Radiant's
now
middle
all of a
tower
sudden
is
Liquid
under
have to
attack.
be real cautious with their team fighting.
Saxa. Oh, very
we got
nice. I mean, the power of the Vendetta there, getting him masterly slow on the hold strength. So that will take the Aegis away pretty soon after pickup. So Liquid only able to achieve tier 1 mid. qojqva just not being careful enough and prepared for Saxa to be watching out for him.
Yep.
As Saxa takes away the Aegis as easily as that.
Yep. Another thing to note, you know, pre-nerf, Nyx would have been seen as a bit of an answer to the Huskar because the break mechanic, that is no longer there. Vendetta hit, however, is about 350 pure damage. So you've got to be cautious if you're qojqva, if you're toggling. And it just makes the game a little more difficult to play because if you are at that 1 HP threshold, you kind of have to always be toggling once you hit that 350 HP mark. But you can still technically die if Sox is already, you know, in front of you, invis, stop canceling his right click.
Saxa. Oh, very nice. I mean, the power of the Vendetta there, getting him masterly slow on the hold strength. So that will take the Aegis away pretty soon after pickup. So Liquid only able to achieve tier 1 mid.
But look at Insania though. Like this is the benefit. This is why you take the Oracle, because he's just now gonna play like a yo-yo and just stay in the vicinity of qojqva. Make sure he can play as aggressively as he wishes. Tiger just magnetized to farm a stack, so I don't expect Liquid will make any moves that quickly. It's OG, it feels, who are on the more aggressive. Oh wow, look, Thompson's build. Mage Slayer queued up.
He loves it, doesn't he? On some of his mid builds.
Dire's top tower.
I mean,
is under attack.
it's a nice item, right? It makes sense all around. Bit of magic resistance. I mean, it's great on these sort of melee carries.
It does make sense too. You know, mid one's your carry, and Thompson, even in his leveling up, like Berserker's Rage max, Axe's
Dire's
max.
top tower
You know, not
is under
going for the
attack.
more passive farming build where you put more points fervor. Phase boots, a wand, like
Dire
this
are
is the
scanning.
fighting build. He is going to be the front liner and have
Radiant
faith in mid
are
one to
scanning.
ultimately deal enough damage to win his team the game. Nice scan there from NoTail.
Top, no tell. He should go down here. Boxy with that ATOS complete. There's that additional control. Make sure that there's no chance for a tether to safety.
Yeah, big fan of that item here. Boxy just on the bug squashing squad, because that is his role here. He wants to ATOS into silence, wants to get the rupture off. Do not let mid one just freely carry this game. Mid-game, maybe it's a couple minutes. Wait, what? Thompson?
He just walked around on the high ground. This is some aggression here from Thompson. He's going to get ruptured. If he can get out of this, he's going to chance it. He's able to control. He gets the ult off in time, but they'll be able to kite this out. As, yeah, Thompson just...
They get the save!
Okay. All right, all right, I mean, can they go for a round two? It's just going to be NoTail letting his life go. But NoTail bailing out
Radiant's
Thompson
middle
there big
tower is
time.
under attack.
But that's huge because they win the bounty runes for that. If Liquid get that kill, they can take a commanding position and then get both of the Radiant topside bounties. Instead, it's now a 2-for-2 split at best for Liquid. And they don't get the core. What a save. This is level 1 reload. 3.5 seconds on the channel time.
My path leads to
Still gets it off.
Top lane. Liquid, look elsewhere for action. They're moving in onto Seb and Saxa. Ronomate's something in the blood rush. Seb's got to run. qojqva, he's going to jump over towards Saxa. From the side though, Thompson, he's already in onto the back line. He's closed the gap onto Instania. Instania having to use the false promise to save Boxy. As Instania, he will go down for this. Get back in onto Thompson. qojqva jumps across. And Sam on Thompson. One of the dissimilars get first down. Let's take him with a snap. He's not enough damage. qojqva still going to go. He turns. He takes down Thompson. Midboard gets the time up just in time. But once he's feeding into him, Tiger onto the side of the stack to finish him off with the vendetta hit. As they've lost 3 Liquid. Midboard ever so low. Mickey jumps him with the actual step. Takes him out. Remnant off the mark. NoTail's able to deny the DD route. And he's trying to beat into Mickey. Seb and Stacks are on their way over as Boxy is low. Vicious setup. Seb blinks in, close the gap. They've got the setup and they've got enough down to go. Boxy, 6 charges, keep him alive. And he's out of there, over to the sides. Right Captain's will hit him, but it's not enough to kill him. Mickey still doing the aggressive work. Jumps in onto Seb with Dissimilate. At the end of it all, Liquid, they will get the final few kills and they're about to get another hit with NoTail soon to be returning. Setup being prepared. As soon as he's in, he's out once more. Liquid will keep themselves on top of the kill.
Man, these fights are wild. Oh my god, like that was so sick from OG. They split Liquid. They had Insania caught in the river, so he's forced to then use ultimate on Boxy just because he recognizes I'm gonna die. I'm gonna just give up my life because I have no hope here. That leaves then qojqva exposed, but you know, you're Huskar. It doesn't matter if Oracle's like out of the picture. You're fighting until you die, and that's exactly what he did. But Insania respawned in time to save Boxy.
Thompson, he stepped up to try and farm in the river. They get the jump on him. He's been mass silenced.
What?
I mean, it's so hard for him to play his game now because Mickey's got this early ags. And he's got to respect that. Anytime he steps up to farm like this, they're easily going to be able to keep him controlled. And between the 2 resonant pulses, the geomagnetic grip, they're just going to be able to make sure that he has no chance to pop the battle charm.
Yes. I didn't even know what to say, man. The big timing coming up is Roshan could start spawning in just a minute's time. If you're OG, I don't think you're ready to fight that yet unless Seb gets a hero echo off. You know, he's going to need to be channeling those TI9 Axe vibes because this game is looking pretty rough for OG. They're still not out of it by any means, but I mean, mid one doesn't really come online until later levels. Maelstrom, Sanj, and Yasha just isn't really gonna do it. And oh, he's ruptured.
Arcane
Moxie.
energies.
Gonna look for the setup here onto No-Tail, kicking him back whilst Ruptured Tiger. Able to put an end to
Radiant's top
No-Tail's life.
tower is under attack.
Need pressure. Not really much tower pressure put out thus far by OG. They're gonna get mid soon. It's in deny range. But it's a tough game for them. Like, Thompson's damage output isn't really there. He did just find a Quicksilver Amulet, which is great. You pretty much always have a spell on cooldown.
Radiant's top
So just
tower
free
is under attack.
attack speed and move speed.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Seb as Arcane really wants level 12 before the next fight.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Line up. That
Dire's bottom
momentum
tower is
that they
under
drafted
attack.
for here, 18 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, Halberd on qojqva now with the treads, like, he is huge.
Radiant's top
You need more
tower
time
is
if you're
under
OG.
attack.
Your late game should win out,
Dire's
but you
bottom
just
tower
need more
is
time.
under attack.
Huskar is just too damn tanky right now, especially if Insania is still alive behind him.
Oh, to the side, Moxie trying to get in on the Zed Tiger. He's able to roll it, closing out onto the stage. Qojqva comes in, Zed is going to get down before he gets the signal spell up on the Fissure off. Seb's out. Liquid having so many ways to gap close, really, as you can see. qojqva leaping in.
Radiant's top tower is under
Look at their
attack.
wording.
Straight for him.
They are playing this Radiant Triangle, controlling Ancients, and they have 3 wards just surrounding them, keeping them safe and providing vision on where OG is. They kind of have to swap this up a bit. I think you've got to see top now, put mid one and No-Tail into this bottom area of the map. They're going to get mid tower. Yeah, just swipes the last hit.
Dire's
Would have been
middle
denied
tower
otherwise. Good job by
has
mid one.
fallen. Dire are scanning.
Trying to farm up his BKB. Oh, with these amount of silencers and control in the game, the fights are becoming pretty much
Radiant's
impossible
top
for
tower is under attack.
without that amount of
Radiant's
immunity.
top tower
Got to get that
has
done.
fallen.
Take the tier 2 tower. How long on the Roche? It's going to be a minute and a half. For the
Radiant's
respawn.
middle
So
tower
Liquid
is under attack.
very soon to continue controlling this area. They're
Dire's
going to have a
bottom
solid
tower
chance
is
of
under attack.
taking out for the second time this game.
Yep. You can see just how methodical they're playing this game. Like, okay, it's the
Dire's
simple
structures are fortified.
script to winning is Dire. You get ahead, you get Roche, you control
Dire's
enemy
bottom
triangle,
tower
and you
is
take
under
next
attack.
Roche immediately where possible. And find kills along the way. I mean, Doctor, you're in no man's land. He did buy his blink right before he died, though, which is good. But yeah, I think this is the 5th or 6th time we've just seen an OG hero die inside the perimeter.
Dire's
Thompson.
courier has been killed.
He's got to get out of it. No-Tail, he is going to be able to take him away. As No-Tail gets him out in time with the
Dire's
relocate.
courier has
That
been
resonant,
killed.
that was 100 units off from just silencing No-Tail and potentially landing a kill on the troll.
Quite not many chances himself, but keeping Thompson alive do right now. That BKB done. That's about halfway there.
Thing is, how will it change? Liquid are very close to their BKBs as well. Mickey at like 1,000 gold. Boxy.
Restore the void.
Oh, I'm sorry. Mickey and Boxy are both like 1,000 away.
Tiger. He gets the angle, stacks up, trying to come in and get some room control around this mid lane. And they've caught him. So again, as you said, this whole area of the map is just a huge area of death, really, for OG every time anyone comes over. And now they're into Roche. And with the one member down, OG stand very little chance of doing anything about this. This should be an ace to the keys for Liquid. No problem here, just 22 minutes in.
Yeah, you just can't contest this right now. qojqva is indestructible. And while Thompson, I'm a big fan of Mage Slayer as an item concept, especially in this game. His damage output isn't there. In a game that's become so massive, it's starting to fall behind a bit just because he doesn't really have anything to help him to push through these creep waves. But Mage Slayer, consider like Huskar, Void Spirit, Bloodseeker, all of these heroes have a lot of spell damage based DPS. Like Huskar's Spear is what really starts to hurt you. And Void Spirit specifically, you know, that's all spell damage because of the way the hero functions. But yeah, now a DD on Mickey. He's going to have his BKB finished very soon. And I think if you're Liquid, you might not be able to go high ground, but you're going to start just trying to get these tier 2s. You want to control both outposts at 30 minutes. And if you're OG, just keep doing what you're doing, right? Just split the map. You've got Thompson and No-Tail bottom. Mid one just cut mid-wave by the tier 3, and your other 2 heroes are top. This is all you really have to do here.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Time for the high ground push it.
Radiant's middle tower
Just
is under
cheese.
attack.
What's OG got
Dire's
at the
top
moment
tower
ready to
is
put a
under
stop
attack.
to this? Cutting creep waves. There's already still creeps here. We're going to see Zax try and jump forward and clean them out. He's going
Radiant's
to
middle tower is
give
under
his life
attack.
out. And the range creep is kept alive. There's still a creep here.
Radiant's middle
So
tower
Liquid can
is
keep
fallen.
on pushing.
Dire's bottom tower
As they
is under
couldn't quite
attack.
get rid of the whole wave.
Dire's
Oh my god, this
structures
one
are
range creep is the
fortified.
hero of this entire push. Like,
Radiant's middle
that's a
barracks
Rax.
has
Liquid
fallen.
just took a Rax.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
Not much that OG can do in
Radiant's middle
response.
barracks
Thompson,
are under
he's able to
attack.
get the tier 2 bottom. That
Radiant's
will
middle
pretty much give him the money
barracks
for the
has fallen.
BKB. So now OG, they have their 2 BKBs on their cores. The question is how much of a difference that's really going to make in these fights as Liquid only getting further and further ahead. And still with that Aegis and Cheese ready for easily the next fight. There's only a tier 2 left on the map on the outer layers.
It's not looking good for OG at the moment. They're just not online. Weaver might have BKB, but the trouble is that your offensive damage output just isn't there. It's the criticism that Weaver as a hero concept has faced for years. And typically with the Wisp, you're able to play so fast, like you have tempo control, you get that item advantage. You're behind to go back low.
He's going to jump to the solo echo time on him. Okay, they're going to look to blow the voice sprint. They'll be able to do so. They throw everything down onto him and they take him out. Thompson, he's going into more difficult battle chance pretty early. So now he's just got the BKB alone to rely on. We'll see if it's enough. And he's moving in onto qojqva. Jump forward from Step. Step lays down the Fisher onto the back lines. He's locking down Instania, but now qojqva, he's got his own BKB good to go. They will lose Instania. Tiger getting in the midst of it all, getting the magnetize out as well. qojqva ready to dive in onto Step. Step will fall. qojqva alive. There's a triple kill for qojqva. Midpoint. He's got to get the hell out of there, but he's been dusted, rotted. They've got the slow, the blood rides down. They're not going to get out in time. Another Shikuchi will save him, but No Tail's left behind. As qojqva will be able to deal with the IO. They even still get the catch on mid one as they take him down as well. qojqva with the Ultra. It's a team wipe. As Liquid very easily able to respond to that attempt from OG to get out as they chose to try and fight into this Aegis and Chi.
You kind of had to if you were OG. You saw a window. You had a 5-on-4 engagement. Bounty runes respawning. Unfortunately, Liquid, they're going to get all 4 now, plus that huge teamfight win. You can see the issue is the damage output. qojqva, he just doesn't die. By the time you get his Aegis, he's killed 3 of you. And that's just not enough. They need another item on Weaver. They need another item on Troll before they can even really hope
Radiant's bottom
to even think about
tower is under
contesting with
attack.
Huskar right now. Level 18. Cheese, he's gonna have AC completed soon. Like, oh my god, this guy's out of control. What a last pick. 11-1 and 4. This is why we squealed a bit. Like, this is wild. BO1 Oracle Huskar. You know it's saying you cheese.
What year is it? Some of the old stuff coming here, and qojqva was
Radiant's bottom
very
tower
much one of
is under
the players
attack.
you had to watch out for. Sort of strat and hero pick potential in the past, and going to show that 2021 this hero will definitely working in his last big situation.
It's also, when Weaver's BKB and the Troll's BKB fade, they're still susceptible to the AoE disarm from the Troll, or from the Huskar rather.
Oh yeah.
It's a 4-second AoE disarm, plus the Halberd, which is then another 5 seconds on the Weaver if he's caught by it. So in the BKBs, it's not even about their defensive tool necessarily. It's that if you aren't, you literally can't attack
Dire's
any of
top
these enemy
tower
Liquid
is
heroes.
under attack.
And in theory, you want to find pickoffs. You want to play a 3-and-2 style, relocate in, or Weaver find somebody, then there's a dunk. But Liquid, they're just holding hands. They're 5 heroes. Like, Taiga is gonna join late, but look, what are you gonna find him in the base? Now,
Looking for Instania. Instania will get taken out. I don't know what's wrong, but they've got the control. Have they got the damage? qojqva is able to put the cheese. The BKB jumps over towards Saxon. Thompson with an early battle chance. He's trying to beat down Foxy qojqva, but he hasn't got enough damage. Saxon will get caught in the blood right. Thompson has been pushed away from the rest of his team. Mickey is able to get the jump in, and Thompson without a BKB and without a battle chance, incredibly vulnerable. qojqva leaps across, takes out Thompson, and he's ready to chase down more here with Boxy looking for the setup onto mid one. Mid one up in the time lapse. He went to catch Master Shikuchi. Tigers looking for the angle. Won't have the reach though. Mid one will manage to get himself back to safety. Another fight though where it's just OG losing heroes. Liquid barely even being scratched here as they remain unharmed and ready to push the high ground.
It wasn't on our camera, but like Taiga's the reason they get that kill on Troll. He had a 3-man magnetize going and got a silence off. So Seb, all of a sudden, these magnetize can't blink, can't cast. There's no help coming for Thompson. They just had to run away.
There's the jump, Staxter. Trying to help out with the defense. Wicket is getting in.
Is under attack.
To back straight away. Seb, of course, still having the Echo Slam. qojqva, BKB on cooldown for 5 seconds, so soon to have it ready again for another round. Can they find any sort of job? Vicious setup, Seb not wanting to go in yet. He is low, but he's still very aware of the backup potential from Insania. As the false promise is going to come out now. A little concerned with qojqva taking as much damage as he was on the front lines. Now Liquid are trying to back away, Seb. Another Fisher. qojqva, I mean, the power of the false promise there. Full HP as it comes to an end.
Insania made sure to salve him there as well. Like, there's no way you're dying. I like that decision. The only, like, Liquid are one mistake ahead right now. You just have to make sure there's no scenario where like Huskar dies or Mickey die without being able to be saved. Then you get 2 other heroes on exit kills. Suddenly OG take map control. They place wards. If you let a Wisp Weaver team back into the game, things get really dicey because suddenly your attention is split around the map. They want to maintain this style. They want to be 5. They want to play around the next Roche spawn, which could be pre-30 minutes. In 40 seconds, we might have a Roche spawn.
Dire are scanning.
Very fast timing. So Liquid, I know he's trying to get out on the map. Up. Ready to jump. See it fine to start things off.
Dire's
Saxon
top
trying to
tower
scout things
is
with the
under
Vendetta.
attack.
We'll dispel some of the smoke. Jump off the dust. They see in the pound. Right on to Staxon. This does give the info for the rest of OG to play out of here. No tail. He's going to relocate mid one down towards the bottom.
Look at this TP.
It's Boxy. Ready to fight as soon as he sees this. Come in. They've got any way to catch these two. Mid one out to the side yet again. No tell. We'll be able to take him back up to the top lane, which up here it's not totally quiet. Mickey and qojqva are still around him with Insania. Seb's making his way over as well. Ramblin set him on the mid one step. He's going to look for an angle. Fisher just stop qojqva from feeding into no tell, but no tell. He will
Dire's
still
bottom
fall.
tower is under attack.
Liquid claim the life of the Eye down bottom. Thompson's he's trying to hit the tier 3s. I mean, he's going with the BKB, and he'll be able to TP out before the BKB comes to an end. Still a little bit of damage done by Thompson with the split.
It's the trouble is typically when OG play this style, they're able to get kills. Like they can outplay you around the map. The trouble is that Liquid's heroes are all just too damn tanky. All 3 cores of BKB. Wherever they're most aggressively positioned, there's an Insania Oracle behind just waiting to ult somebody. So even at reload top, like there's 2 Liquid heroes who TP bottom. They still can't exploit the 3 left top because they're just too damn strong right now. And there's an Ag Scepter on the throat.
And I assume qojqva will still be the one to take this. Not a bad axe at all. I mean, that single target. Very nice in the mid. The jump's been made onto Tiger. Tiger's actually going to go down. Yes, mid one will be able to finish him onto the BKB and commits onto the target. Boxy turns over towards mid one. He's out for now. Gucci's away. Expect the Tiger buyback. And Liquid get a jump. Tiger rolls in. He's able to get the connection onto No Tail. Staxon turning with the stun to hold him back. Seb as well offering up Fisher as he's out. Blink to dodge the ATOS. OG continue to retreat. Liquid trying their best to chase, but OG seems like they've managed to split themselves far enough away. Make sure that nobody gets caught by this move.
Yeah, this Huskar Ag is actually insane. Like, this might just straight up be game winning. It's a 3-second taunt.
It's very strong.
If
Yeah.
you ult in on the Shaker, like Shaker
Yep.
is just dead if you're not immediately disabled, and that's impossible with the BKB up. And you can see like OG, they're doing what they can. They're still splitting the map, 2 tops and bottom, but at a point, Liquid, they're just looking for that window. They need 15 seconds where there's no creep waves in their base, and they can start hitting tier 3s. Thompson still playing aggressive. There's no BKB cancel on a TP, so he's free to do this, but he does have to be a little cautious.
He's going to put the BKB and he's going to fight. He's going to put the battle trance, go straight towards Boxy, but Boxy's got the movement speed. He's still got a haste rune. As Boxy, he's just kiting Thompson in pretty deep here with the battle trance, committing him as Thompson's going to get blown up for that.
Dire's middle tower is
I mean,
under
I guess he
attack.
felt maybe had the chance there to get a kill with that additional offensive potential from the battle trance, but it ends up getting him in such a disastrous position, dragging him right up and far away from any sort of save or backup.
Yeah, if he had not BKB'd, I would have understood it, but he used BKB as well. So that means you're all in. There's no chance of that BKB teleport.
Dire's top tower is under
And
attack.
yeah, sure, you're getting some space on the map. Like, look at when mid one's queued up. Like, he recognizes the issues they're having. Like, they
Dire's
need
top
damage.
tower has fallen.
And I'll say, like,
I mean, this could do it.
that would turn things around.
Absolutely. If mid one could get this rapier, they can definitely turn it. Or at least have a chance to turn it. Of course, it's not going to be easy. Liquid still with a very solid lead here, 28 to 10, 30k.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
As mid lane qojqva and Insania, they're ready to bring it straight down the mid lane and look to go towards another set of racks. 10 seconds, Thompson's back.
Liquid, I would say Mickey. He went for the he has over corruption, he bought a Deso. So they're gonna and with the AC, it's a pretty big armor disparity in Liquid's favor right now.
Move on to qojqva.
There's a reload?
I think he was split pushing top. They slow this man down. Aegis, G's, and an Oracle behind him. Huskar has got qojqva. He's in, but there's the axe! Mid1 has no chance to react there as soon as qojqva lands. Mid1 is locked down because of the axe Huskar.
Radiant structures are
He's now out for a
fortified.
minute. Gotta be careful around this Huskar. Those few seconds of lockdown, you have nothing to do, you're taunted. Now the buyback comes out, qojqva jumps over Thompson just gone! He can't press anything, you can't do anything! When the Huskar arrives on your face, as qojqva, who's he gonna go for next? He's headed over the bash, is there onto no tail shot. qojqva jumps over towards Thompson, does get the BKB and the battle trance off. He's beating it Mickey pretty hard, will bring Mickey down, but now with the BKB and the battle trance ending, he's got no further ways to save himself. He's just got to rely on no tail to get him out of there, but there's another jump in. qojqva diving in underneath the tier 4s, takes down Thompson, turns towards no tail. There's no buybacks, no emoji. This game is over as Liquid will take this best of one victory. And they do it pure Liquid style. qojqva's Huskar coming in last pick, and it works out exactly.